Sex worker, employer. Sex workers, abonnés, their employers. Negotiation for favors. During Degas' era especially, ballerinas were sex workers. It was so common at the time, all ballerinas, regardless of their talent, were assumed to have sold their favors. And Degas is king of depicting this. The way it worked is that wealthy gentlemen known as abonnés, the opera subscribers, paid an extra exorbitant amount of money for a backstage pass, basically. In 1860, when the Opera Garnier opened, they had a special entrance built where the abonnés could enter more discreetly, and it led to the Foyer de la Danse. It was a private backstage room that served alcoholic beverages. The dancers could stretch and mingle with the abonnés. The Jockey Club de Paris was ostensibly formed for the patronage of the horse races. However, during the 19th century, they were arguably more famous for their patronage of the opera. After the races, they would enter the opera for the second act of the ballet, where they would mingle with the ladies and either engage their services for the evening or negotiate a longer-term arrangement known as a protectorship. Such negotiations were often brokered by the ballerinas' mothers backstage as the dance went on. And given the ages of the ballerinas, we would now consider this child trafficking. However, at the time, this was the only way out of poverty for most of these girls. Gentlemen protectors often set up an apartment for their ballerinas and gave them a monthly stipend. But when they did this, they often tried to influence the opera to give their ballerina a better role. As a result, when a dancer rose through the ranks of the ballet corps, through hard work and talent alone, she still had to deal with society's whispers of, well, did somebody pay for it? And though it was undoubtedly hard work with brutal hours, it was not considered a respectable profession. If you landed good roles throughout your career and you retired from the opera, you could then become a dance instructor. That is what Marie von Gotham's little sister did. Marie and her older sister both posed for Degas, but Marie was the one who stood for this depiction, little dancer, age 14. And she was indeed 14 years old when she posed for this statue in 1879. The statue wears real clothes because the model did not. Although Marie's little sister was talented and avoided the fate, both Marie and her older sister engaged in sex work as negotiated by their mother. There are newspaper articles that confirm that fact. Madame von Gotham died in the opera in Paris as her daughter was instructing younger dancers. Her older sister married and died in the countryside. The younger daughter lived a long and happy life instructing dance and never married. She's buried in the same Parisian cemetery as her mother. As for Marie, the last record of her is in 1883, when she, her mother, and her older sister were stopped at the French border by the police. Her older sister had stolen a large sum of money from a protector, and all three women were hauled back to Paris for questioning. The older sister went to jail, but there is no further mention of Marie in history, unless Marie Genevieve von Gotham was also Marie Jeanette Mary Jane Kelly, the final canonical victim of Jack the Ripper.